What's up, everybody? This is Tech G, and I want to welcome you all to my CompTIA A Plus Core 2 course for the exam number 220-1202. And the information I'll be presenting in this course is going to give you everything that you need to know to successfully pass the CompTIA A Plus 1202 examination, assuming you study properly. So with that being said, let's get into it. All right, so the CompTIA A Plus certification, this is an entry-level computer certification for PC computer service technicians, and the exam is designed to certify the competency of entry-level PC computer service professionals in installing, maintaining, customizing, and operating personal computers. All right, so let's talk about the things that you're going to learn. So the CompTIA A Plus 1202 exam, this will focus on 4 primary areas of study, which are also known as domains. So we have domain 1, and that is operating systems, and that's going to take up 28% of the exam. And this domain is going to focus on operating system installation when it comes to working with Windows, Mac, Linux, and mobile operating systems. You're also going to learn about Windows tools, such as managing systems with Task Manager, Command Prompt, and Disk Management. And it's going to focus on file systems when it comes to handling file systems updates and operating system upgrades. When it comes to domain number 2, or security, that's going to take up 28% of the exam, and this is going to focus on security measures. You're learning about encryption, access controls, and wireless security protocols, and also malware prevention, where you're going to be learning about detecting, removing, and preventing malware threats. Then there's domain number 3, software troubleshooting, and this is going to take up 23% of the exam, and this is going to focus on operating system issues. You're learning about diagnosing and resolving problems with operating systems and applications. You got mobile troubleshooting, where you're addressing connectivity, application, and performance issues. And then there's also security concerns, where you're learning about fixing unauthorized access and malware issues. And then that leaves us with our last domain, which is operational procedures, and it's going to take up 21% of the exam. And in this domain, you're going to focus on documentation, where you're learning about using best practices for system changes and documentation. You got safety and communication, where you're following safety protocols and communicating effectively. And also backup and recovery, where you're setting up workstation backups and recovery processes. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about some of the CompTIA 1202 exam details. So CompTIA 1202, this is the latest and greatest exam version, which was launched on March 25th, 2025. Now, at the time of this recording, CompTIA has not scheduled a retirement date for this exam, but normally 3 years after the launch of an exam is when you can expect for that exam to be officially retired, so they can begin introducing the latest version. Also, this exam has a maximum of 90 questions, and the questions are presented in multiple choice format, drag and drop questions, and performance-based questions. You're going to have 90 minutes to do this exam. And in order to pass the 1202 exam, you're going to need to score 700 points out of a possible 900 points. Now, it is recommended by CompTIA that a candidate have at least 12 months of hands-on experience in an IT support specialist job role prior to taking the certification. But based on my training experience of teaching this to hundreds and hundreds of people, there are plenty of people who successfully passed this exam who have absolutely no experience whatsoever. Also, at the time of this recording, the exam is only available in English in Pearson VUE Testing Center. This is the company that's responsible for administering the exam. And at the time of the recording of this video, the price to get a CompTIA 1202 voucher is $265. Now, if you want a discounted voucher, go visit my website, technologyg.com, where you can save a few bucks unless you feel like paying full price. Now, as a side note, you need to understand that the CompTIA A Plus certification exam, this is a 2-part exam, meaning you must pass the 220-1201, also known as the hardware test, and the 220-1202, which is called the software test, or Core 2, in order to be awarded the CompTIA A Plus certification. Now, you can take either test in any order, and you can schedule the exam days, weeks, or months apart if you like, but you have to pass both exams. And once you pass both, you will be awarded your CompTIA A Plus certification, and the certification will go into effect the day that you pass the second exam.